Hey folks, this is Chris Crazy House, and I want to talk a little bit about this article I read, and I've seen several other YouTubers talk about it as well. And that is that the new Looney Tunes cartoons will now take away the guns that famous characters like Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam would normally have in these Looney Tunes cartoons. So, I mean, they say that they're doing it because there is a response to gun violence in the U.S., which I think is a little ridiculous. But you know, these new Looney Tunes cartoons, I knew they were coming out. I know they're going to be on HBO Max, but I'm not really enthused about watching them. There's plenty of channels and Blu-rays and DVDs with the classic Looney Tunes on there that I'd rather watch. I think. Well, let me just start from here. My daughter and I have actually been watching those old Looney Tunes cartoons online. So, like, we found a whole bunch of old ones, and because she was curious about it, because I have several books about the animators and the classic cartoons of Looney Tunes. She was looking on my bookshelf, and I have a book about the classic cartoons. I have a book about Tex Avery. I have a book about Chuck Jones and Bob Clampett. So she was very interested in seeing that. She liked, being a little kid, being 5 years old, she liked all the pictures in there of the cartoon characters, and she had never seen the Looney Tunes before. So I showed her a couple of good ones or classic ones that I thought she would like. And, she's become a fan. But like I said, she likes the classic ones. I remember we tried to watch one of these new Looney Tunes, and it just didn't have the same punch to it. And even though she kind of liked it, she liked the characters and everything in the cartoon, but she didn't respond to it the same way she responded to the old ones. Like, I remember she and I watched a compilation of the classic Sylvester and Tweety Bird cartoons, and she was laughing her head off. Like, she was laughing so hard she was having trouble breathing at some points. But that's what I mean, is like those classic cartoons, you respond to them differently. It's a type of humor that is lost, and very much lost nowadays. Like, those guys, when they were creating those cartoons, they had, what's the word I want to use? I don't want to say it had an edge to it, because that's not really entirely true either. And you almost can't even say it's something of the times, because those cartoons have become timeless. Like, when I talk to other animators who are also fans of classic Looney Tunes cartoons, I can make a reference and they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Same thing with my dad. My dad is the one that introduced me to all those old Looney Tunes cartoons. And he and I go back and forth sometimes talking about them. And sure enough, even if I don't know the exact name of the episode, we know, all I have to do is tell him what happened in that episode, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about, which one it is. So that's what I mean. Like, that, those cartoons will be timeless, and timeless forever. And even new generations will find them and enjoy them, just like I did as a child of the 80s, and just like my daughter is enjoying them now. So these new Looney Tunes cartoons, I don't think people will enjoy them as much. And that this type of how I want to say it, this type of humor where everyone's trying to avoid and make things more appealing to a mass audience, I think that's going to hinder and hurt them. As plus, a lot of the artists and animators that get hired nowadays to do these things, they don't have that same type of mindset that a lot of those original animators and animation directors had. They also probably don't have that. It's a different time. Everyone's offended by everything, so you can't say certain words. You probably can't even use certain pronouns. Like I said, everyone gets butthurt about things these days, so you can't do and say certain things. So I don't think these new cartoons will be timeless. And the whole idea, of taking the guns away from a hunter and a cowboy seems kind of a little over the top. Because, like I said, it's a cartoon. Now, I'll admit, rewatching some of these old episodes, I do find some of the gun violence in them it's ridiculous because I mean, it's not realistic, so you can't really get too upset about it. You know what I mean? Like when someone pulls out a shotgun and they get shot in the face, and the only thing that happens is your duck bill gets turned backwards. I mean, it's not really what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not really that big of a deal, I would think. So if they're gonna get rid of the guns, are they gonna get rid of the dynamite too, and all like the cannonballs and bombs and stuff that they used to have in all those Looney Tunes episodes and TNT? Because I mean, that's just as bad. So are they gonna start saying, well, because of terrorism and terrorists using bombs, we're gonna get rid of all the TNT and dynamite in these shows? You know what I mean? So I don't know where do you draw the line and how ridiculous these things can get. They're not going to be able. Is Wile E. Coyote not going to be able to fall off of a cliff anymore? Because kids might hurt themselves or jump off of their roof or cliff or something like that. I don't know. Are characters going to be able to smoke cigars in these? I guess not. You definitely can't have characters smoking nowadays either. So I don't know. I don't know based on political correctness and the climate, what they'll change about these new cartoons. All I have to say is when I watched them, 2 or 3 of the new episodes, I did not find them funny. They were okay. They were done well, but like I said, it doesn't have the same heart and the same love put into it as those classic cartoons. And like I said, they will not be timeless. I can guarantee you that. So you guys let me know if you've seen some of the new Looney Tunes episodes on HBO or online, because they have them here on YouTube, some of them, and what you think about them taking away the guns. And if you have any classic Looney Tunes memories, go ahead and share in the comments section. Anyway, Chris Crazy House signing out. Peace.